first video as another Cosmic Society.
So it's all coming. It's coming very soon. Maybe 2.5 weeks we'll be ready to rock and roll. We had a post up the other day talking about all the things happening in the background, and it is just hectic. The idea of setting up a blog, it's like, yeah, you just do some writing and you do a video and you post it and people like it. There's about 3,000 other things that need to get done. So that's what we're working on.
We were completely unprepared. We thought we were really prepared, but we were really not. But we're getting there.
Hashtag noobs. 100%.
So we thought it would be a good opportunity to jump on and introduce ourselves, talk about what we're doing. We've explained it a little bit in some of our posts, but I feel like we need to explain a little bit more just to make it, what's the word?
Provide some clarity.
There we go. So, firstly, we just want to say a huge thank you to all the love and support we've already got from everybody on our Instagram, on our Facebook. It's just been amazing, considering we haven't really posted anything.
It's been really cool. And it's definitely had its struggles. And I know personally, I've had so many inboxes and comments from friends just being like, on your mate, like, love what you're doing, keep chugging along. So like, it's that, and as Beth said, it's the likes, it's the comments, it's all love, baby.
And hopefully this will give a bit of clarity, because the hardest question, we've had so many questions, but the biggest one so far is, what exactly is this venture? And we both look at each other and we're like, it's a bit of this, it's a bit of that, and it's gonna come together and you're gonna love it, but we don't know how to explain it.
I think that really, that goes into an explanation of how it came about. I think that's interesting, because how it came about, this wasn't a business plan, this happened. I'm actually going to write a post about this, so you will get some clarity, but
this is just a little preview,
this is the really short version. I had a Reiki session with a local healer, and I'd just been a bit down in the dumps, and I just had this moment of clarity of like, oh my god, I've got to get back into my spirituality and my creativity and using my voice, because I really lost that. And I sat on it for a bit and contacted Beth.
Beth had a dream. Previously, it's a bit of a long story and Leah will explain it all in the blog, but I had a dream, I'd gone to bed, woke up, was like, oh my god, like I've got this amazing idea, like Leah is on the same wavelength as I am, I think would be a really good team. So she messaged me and she goes, hey, I've got a business idea, and I was like, what is it?
I've got a business.
What is it? Because I've got a proposal for you, and it just
exploded. Totally exploded. It was really cool because I feel like we didn't plan it. It's on trend with what we're all about and our spiritual path, and that this opportunity was given to us and we have just dived into it. As terrifying as it is, we've dived into it and we haven't been able to provide clarity on the boundaries and the parameters of it, because we're figuring that out as we go. I'm a writer. I love writing. My writing comes from my experiences. It comes from things that aren't even a big deal, little like blips in my day, and it'll just trigger something in me and I'll just download stuff. It's passionate, it's raw, I swear a lot, but ultimately, but ultimately it's a complete dive into my internal workings and a download of my perception of things, whether it be my behaviour or the way I've reacted to something, or the power someone had over me and made me feel a certain way, lessons I've had on my wellness and managing my mental health and staying healthy, relationships, sex, misery, everything in between. That's what my writing's about.
Which I think is very relatable to a lot of people. When we first jumped into this, I've known Leah for a little bit.
We'll talk about that too, that's a whole other story.
But I always say to her, every time we hang out, I feel like I learn something new about you, and all this creativity's come out, and like, I didn't know that she could write. And since we've started this, she'll send me little bits and pieces and be like, oh, I'd love some feedback, what do you think? And it just blows my mind. I'm like, yes, girl, that is me 100%. And that's why I think everybody will relate to it, because it's, I don't want to say relatable again, but
hashtag relatable.
Hashtag relatable. But honestly, like, you're absolutely going to love it.
Thanks, babe.
No worries. Got your back, girl.
Thanks.
But yeah, she'll be giving you all the advice, talking about everything that she's going through, and I will be over here on this side of the camera, capturing our adventures and everything that we're doing. Hopefully a lot of behind the scenes things. Gonna get into the vlogging, and just, yeah, capturing our experiences to share with you guys, because I just want you guys to enjoy it as much as we are, because it's just fun.
Yeah, I love it.
It's really fun.
It's soul work.
Yeah.
It comes from a place that I haven't honoured enough. So that's really exciting to be able to give that to everyone.
It will be. And when we're not doing that, a lot of you have already seen on Facebook and Instagram that I've started doing the tarot card readings. So I'll be doing that on the side as well. That's a whole nother thing to talk about. But we'll probably go into that when we answer some of the questions. But it's, I don't even know how to explain it.
Beth is an old soul. Beth is a baby physically, but a 45-year-old travelling gypsy inside. And it's amazing. She's intuitive, she's brave, she's confident, and her reading, girl. Her readings are amazing. They're really cool.
Thank you. I'm gonna cry. I can't do this right now.
But it's true. It's really true. I love her work, and heaps of people are starting to gravitate towards it. And I think that's what it's about. When you carry yourself authentically, you'll attract the right people, and that's what this is about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it did start off, I was a skeptic as the next person. I haven't been doing this for a very long time. I really only started, I enrolled in a course and I've been studying this sort of stuff only since October. But it's just, it opened my eyes to this whole brand new universe, and I just feel like I'm a brand new person. And I've gravitated towards it, and I think I have a little bit of a knack for it. I'm not a medium, not a psychic. I wish I was, but I'm not. And it's just, the universe is working, and it's working with other people. So message me for a card read.
Some questions.
So on our Instagram, I think it was right when we first started, we put up one of the little question banners and asked what you guys want to know. So we're just going to go through some of the questions that you guys asked us.
Okay. What made you two want to work together? As we said before, when this all came about, we're both very spiritual people, as Beth just explained. I grew up in a very spiritual household. My mum taught me what white light was before, I knew how to reverse a car. Like, it was just a given. And we had had many conversations on it. And yeah, when it came to me, this idea, and when it came to Beth, we just intuitively knew, like, the other person.
She
had
literally,
to be involved.
Like I said, we have known each other for a while, and I learn something new about her every single time that we hang out. But I just had this dream, and I was like, Leah is the person that will help me do what I want to do.
And I felt the same way. I felt Beth complements what I'm about. It was just a match made in heaven. There it is.
Cute.
Oh, we're cute. Oh my god. Have you always been spiritual, or did you have an awakening moment? I think mine's different to Beth's, so I'll let Beth go.
I don't think I had an awakening moment, but I definitely had, I wouldn't consider myself very spiritual before this, because, growing up, I sort of always put spiritual with religion, because I just wasn't properly educated about it, and that was just my mindset, and I'm all good with everyone doing their own thing. But yeah, as I said earlier, this really only happened to me since last October. And I've loved learning about it, the history, like everything. It's just, I really gravitated towards it, and it's changed my life. Not as a whole, but definitely it's changed my outlook on a lot of things, which has changed my personality a little bit. Yeah, so it wasn't like an awakening, but it was very much a moment where I've just gone, this is interesting, I'd love to learn more. There's a whole universe out there. Really.
Boom, boom, boom.
I'd wished that I was like Leah and I had known about this my whole life, because I feel like it would have saved a lot. But yeah.
Better late than never.
Exactly. And that's why we're here, to teach you.
So for me,
really.
As I said before, I grew up in a very spiritual, not like, you know, I've never howled at the moon. I don't perform rituals.
I did once and
No.
it didn't turn out very well.
I don't do any of that. I am innately intuitive. Just edit that out for me. I'm innately intuitive. My mum is. I knew what white light was. I knew how to listen to my intuition. I had a knack as a child to be able to tell my mum who was a good person, who was a bad person. I was always right. I'd tell her, you know, if you go that way, you're going to get your car bogged. It was just these sorts of things. So it's always been a part of me. I've definitely ebbed and flowed through it, as forgetting about it, ignoring it, practicing it. I'd like to think my awakening moment has come this year, and I'm back.
Back bitches.
I'm back, bitches. I think that answers it.
So the next question was, how did we come up with the name Another Cosmic Society? This was a funny night. This was a good night.
Picking a name is fucking hard. Oh my god. And the ones you love, someone else has. And it's tough. But how did this even happen? I can't even remember.
So this was probably the first week that we'd sat down and decided that we wanted to do something. And we had written a little spiel with all these keywords that we really liked. And so we're going through the keywords, looking on thesauruses and just playing with lots of words. And I think we were both just having a laugh and we're like, oh, this would be funny. Oh, this would be good. And then Another Cosmic Society came up and we sort of looked at each other and we were like,
that's it. Because we were like, oh, that's right. Because we were like, well, we're kind of cosmic. We're like, you know, it's all about being a society and like bringing it to our people and people coming to us. So it's like the society part of it. Cosmic, we love the word, we love the vibe. It fitted with what we're about. But we're like, you know, we're just another one. We're just another one of those groups, another one of those people.
There is so many of them and there's so many different types. And we're just another one, but I feel like we're another one with different views and different points. And that's how it pretty much came about.
Yep, we're just another one of them. Have you had doubts in the process? Fuck me.
Is good. We've had lots of doubts.
I've lost a lot of sleep. My default is negative and fear-based, and that's something that I'm continually working through. A lot of my writing will be around that. So I'm default to worst case scenario every time. So this has been such a personal challenge because I'm so private. I barely post anything on social media that's deep or meaningful. It's normally just bullshit. So it's been a huge adjustment for me to go to this public platform and go, no, okay, we're doing it. So barriers, personally, 100%. And then the tech stuff. She's the tech guru. I'm a pen and paper gal.
I try. I know basics, but, you know, we work and we pull it together. So hopefully this actually turns out okay. But yeah, even doubts, even with my card readings and things like that. Obviously, when I first started and I was learning, as I said, I was as skeptic as the next person. So I started off by only doing it to really close friends and family who I already knew and who I knew a bit of history about. So when I was actually reading the cards in my own head, I could be like, yeah, that fits, or no, that's absolute bullshit. And the scariest part was opening it up to everyone and testing it out on other people to see if I did have a knack or if it was pure luck or what was going on. And that's really scary. And I still, to this day, the other night I was doing readings and I was doing some online. And it's harder when you're doing it online because they can't pick their own cards and you really have to focus in and really put a lot of energy into it. And you shit your pants because you're like, this is gonna go one of two ways. But yeah, it's scary.
It's scary and it's hard, but it's worth it.
Absolutely, 100%.
Are you actually cousins?
That's the burning question. We have... I wouldn't say forever, but for a long time, people have actually asked if we're related, if we're cousins, because we're cousins.
Cousins, man.
We're cousins.
Yeah. Funny story. So, me as a teenager, my mum had a very good family friend, who lived very close to my high school, and my mum worked, she ran a business, so after school, I would go back to my mum's friend's house and just hang out and watch telly and do my homework, and mum would pick me up from there. Worked great. Beth and I met 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say 5 years ago now.
Yeah. And I reckon after about a year of knowing one another, I said, because she has the same last name as my family friend, so are you related to them? She's like, yeah, that's my nan.
And I was like, how do you know my nan? This is really weird.
But I'm nearly 33. Beth's a baby. So
I'm nearly 24.
So when we think back to that, you know, I was like 15, 16, so Beth was like...
I was a bubba.
She was a bubba, so...
But we definitely would have crossed
We would have.
paths.
We would have.
Crossed paths
Yeah.
at some point, and it's just super funny how that came about.
So I grew up with her dad, I grew up with her uncles, I grew up with her nan, and then, yeah, we found each other like 10 years later.
And we met, and it was... We've been cousins ever since.
Cousins ever since! Best piece of advice you've ever been given. I like this one.
I have a really good answer for this bit, so I want you to go first.
I actually hadn't even read that until this exact moment, and the first thing that pops into my head, my mum told me, it's completely unrelated to what we're talking about, but the piece of advice was, if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. And that has been...
That's a really good one, actually.
It just makes so much sense. If it's helped me identify lies, conflict, if it doesn't make sense, there's something missing. And that's really helped me navigate a lot of difficult stuff.
I love it. So for my answer, this is super cheesy, and you're gonna laugh at me.
Okay.
But honestly, I've been given advice my whole life, blah, 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 and I'm also one to give a lot of advice, but I don't take my own. But the last, maybe 2 years, but even last 12 months, I've been through a roller coaster of emotions, and I will always talk to Leah about everything. And every time something's come up, she sends me little pictures with little quotes, and every time it's the best advice that suits that situation. What I'm going, no shit. Like, even the other day, I'm like, oh, I've had a really hard day at work, but she'll send me a little picture with like a quote, and I'm like, amazing. And it does, it fixes everything.
That's just Pinterest being like tuned in on our current emotional journey.
So
I jump in there and it's like, boom, Beth.
Exactly. So I don't have one set piece of advice because every situation is different and you can't use one thing for everything, I don't think. But I think you're just really good at that.
I'm your messiah.
Insert screenshots of text messages here.
I had no idea that was going to be your answer. I'm waiting for like some
No, that's my
Beffy
answer.
wisdom.
That's
a bit nice.
That's Leah's wisdom through Beffy's eyes.
That were the questions that we got. We've got a few other things. What influences me? Lots of stuff, man. Oh my god.
I think we can sort of answer this together. I'm the same. I think we both have lots of different influences. Even environment is an influence.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, what influences you? Everything.
Everything. I mean, if you look, there is guidance and beauty and influence in everything. Like stepping out your front door and like, you know, watching a couple of birds playing a sprinkler, like that will make me grin and it's like, oh, that's really nice. Just dug down to even like people who I follow on social media, books, authors, YouTubers, in everything. Me, I influence myself.
Same. Literally same. I don't think there is one specific person or one specific thing that's an influence. There's so many different factors. Yeah. How would you describe your blogging style?
I don't know. I am very... If you've ever followed Constance Hall, I read some of her writing.
She's a queen, PS, love Constance.
And I was like, oh, we have a similar knack. I'll get a vibe and like, I'll just like I just have to download. I always get like this rush of adrenaline and like butterflies in my stomach and like whatever is happening needs to be put on hold and I have to write. And when that happens, it just sort of pours out of me. And then when I read it back, it's new. Like I don't really recognize it. It's this new, I don't know. I can't write like that if I'm not in the right zone. Whatever the zone is.
There is a question that says, does it really work? And I'm in regards to the tarot readings and things like that. I think it does, but I also think you get out what you put into it. So if you're coming into it not wanting it to work or being very reserved or not putting in the energies, I think if you put in negative energies, you're going to get bad negative energies back.
It's energy work, effectively.
Absolutely. So honestly, if you believe it's going to work, it will work. And it's worked out so far with like 99% of the people who've come to me. So I think that definitely says a lot.
I think it's important as well that it's understood that it's a tool. It's not an answer.
It's not.
It's a tool for energy work and for clarity and for guidance. It's not an answer.
It's not. And classic example, and he's going to kill me for this, but my housemate refuses to let me ever read his cards, and he's like, no, I don't want to know what's going to happen. But I'm like, I'm not looking into the future. Like I said this to someone the other day, I'm like, I'm not Raven from That's So Raven. I don't have like a, it's literally, it's guidance, and you can ask questions if you want, something for a specific situation or just in general. Like there is past, present, future, things like that, but people's paths change. So, even if Leah came over 10 minutes later today, this whole day would have been different. And paths definitely change. So I think it's definitely just a really good guide.
Yeah.
It's not the future. Some people do that. That's pretty much it. Obviously, if you have any other questions or any inquiries, messages, let us know. Definitely follow our Facebook and Instagram, which we will link below.
Website is coming.
Website is coming. That's like the main thing, and I haven't even spoken about that this whole video. But yeah, website is coming, and that will have lots of information on it too. Some really pretty pictures.
Most importantly.
Just to keep your minds engaged, to look at something cool. But yeah, just again, thank you so much to everyone that's been supporting us so far.
Yeah,
and I
that's
can't.
nice.
I'm really excited to see where things go with this.
Me too.
Yeah. I think that pretty much wraps it up.
I have no idea what I just said.